I think that most couples do not talk about money unless they're fighting about money. And like they separate their money. Like, this is my money, this is your money. It's like a taboo topic for people to talk about, and in your marriage, you have to talk about it.
Also, it comes down to me being confident in your financial decisions, because sometimes he'll come home and he'll be like, all right, this is 25 grand, 50 grand, and we're gonna invest in it. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. Are you sure this isn't gonna work? But because we've been able to talk about money from day one and know that we're going in the right direction, you have to start building that money relationship from the beginning, so that together. Hi everyone, welcome to Be the Banker podcast with my husband and myself today. And today we're going to talk to you about money topics and how we build our relationship around money and how we continue to develop our financial situation together. So babe, what are some of the most common reasons people fight about when they're in relationships, whether it's marriage?
With money?
Yeah, with money.
I think the first thing is they don't talk about it. Like, I think that most couples do not talk about money unless they're fighting about money. And like they separate their money. Like, I don't know why couples be like, this is my money, this is your money. Unless you like marry a really, really wealthy dude or a wealthy woman, like that's totally understandable. But like, if you guys are slugging it out together like us, like, and you're like building something together, you both started with nothing, like you guys built everything together no matter what. I think the first thing is that people don't talk about money. Like they don't, it's like a taboo topic for people to talk about, and in your marriage you have to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, then each of you are gonna hide things from each other. Like, we never hide anything from each other when it comes down to money.
No. I feel like growing up too with my parents, it wasn't like a common thing that was talked about, like, oh, money this, money that. It was just like, oh, we need more money, or we don't have money for this, we don't have money for that. Even though we didn't live that poor life, but it was just like money was not a common thing to talk about. I don't even know if my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so my dad was just like, here, use the card, whatever you need, or whatever we need for the kids. Yeah. But it wasn't something that like I could see them talk about, but they would fight about money. Like, why don't we have more, or why do we have to say that we don't have money?
How does it make you feel as a woman, as a wife in 2026, where like you never have to ask me for money? Like, well, let's first answer that, and then I have another question for you.
Is that I don't have to ask you for money? Because I really don't spend money like that. It's more of like knowing that we meet weekly and monthly, knowing where our money is going at, what's the priority, and knowing that, okay, if my personal bank account, if I know that I am spending a little here for this, I have my like necessities, nails, things that are already built into my monthly bills. But we talked about that before. We know that every dollar is going to where it needs to be. If I want to spend a little extra, you're like, that's fine, you earned it, you worked for it. Yeah. But that's why we love running the business together too, because we can talk about whenever I want to spontaneously buy something, you're like, it's cool.
Right. But we set a target for it.
We do set a target.
Let's back up to when we first started dating, okay? Because I didn't have a lot of money, and you didn't have a lot of money, and there were some months.
I came in with debt.
Yeah, right. There were some months that you came and I needed to help out a little bit. Yeah. Right? But like, we also knew we were already getting engaged. I don't think I gave you money before we got engaged. No. Like I would never, as a dude, I would never give a girl money before you're like engaged or married. Like I would not pay for stuff, never paid a chick to fly to Miami. Like I would not do that. And so many guys give money or take girls shopping. I never did that in my life. And with you, as soon as we started dating, we both were in like a very uncertain time, but we started selling bigger policies, we started making money. So like, that was when it's like, well, what's mine is yours and what's yours is mine. When you'd be like, hey babe, I need like $500 to pay this thing, and I'd be like, boom, we'd pay it. Because like, what's the purpose of us working really hard if who cares if it goes into the Infinite Capital bank account or Josh's bank account or Yaritza's bank account? Like, it's our family money. So it doesn't matter what account it goes into. It's just like, it's our thing.
Right.
So like back then we were just kind of helping each other out. Then there were some months later on that like you had to send me money, like, so we could pay bills for here because you had some extra money. So we just worked on that. But I remember when we sat down, it was the end of 2023. That's when we really sat down at the end of the year, and we sat on the couch. We wrote down all the things that you spend your money on, all the things I spend my money on, how much the bill is. We built in a couple $100 extra so you can buy what you want here and there. And that's what we made your payroll.
Yeah.
And that's been that way. And then when we get into another life insurance policy, you get a bonus because now you have to cover an extra $1,000 a month. You need an extra $1,000 in payroll. So we always adjust our pay to what our expenses are.
Right. Yeah, I think that's important too. I believe that when we're aligned too, it helps me feel secure and safe that, like, if you're ready, because you come up with all these big vision ideas sometimes last minute, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's a lot of money. But because we've been trained and conditioned with Cardone and high level thinkers, billionaires, and they wouldn't have got to where they are now if they didn't take risks like we're taking now. And also it comes down to me being confident in your financial decisions, because sometimes he'll come home and he'll be like, all right, this is 25 grand, 50 grand, and we're gonna invest in it. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. Are you sure this isn't even gonna work? What if we don't get the money back? But because we've been able to talk about money from day one and know that we're going in the right direction, he doesn't have to ask me, and I don't have to ask him or doubt him. I may get a little scared, but I'm gonna keep that to myself and trust and have faith that it's going to come back to us and it's going to work. So that's another thing about whenever you're making decisions without your spouse, it's not being there. You have to start building that money relationship from the beginning, so that together. So things like that do come up.
It's like being confident in anything. Like, you got to get little wins, right? Like, if you want to run a marathon, you got to run a mile, then run 2, then run 5. You know, like, you got to keep going. So for us, like, you have to be confident in me to go out there and make 10 grand. Then you have to go out there and be confident in me to go make 20 grand. Then make 50. Then make 100. Then be confident in, like, if I put 10 grand into something, that we're gonna turn that 10 grand into 50. And if we don't, we lost 10 grand. But the next thing I have to do is go try 5 and go build up the confidence again. So, like, I feel like a lot of people live off of bad mistakes of the past. And it's hard. What we don't know, because we're young and newly married in the past year and a half, is like, when you're 30 years in and you've made multiple financial mistakes, I don't think we have the right to speak on the wisdom of, like, what you should do in those situations. But for people that are starting off and building wealth, even if you never had anything and you can start, just start having conversations now. But we're very transparent. We meet every Sunday and do a money meeting, unless one of us is out of town. Like Sunday, you're going away because it's Father's Day. But we sit down and we figure out, where's all the money at? What are our priorities that we need to invest in? Like, right now, it's more leads for the team and more people, right? And then how much money do we need to invest in each one of those? Then what's left over? Do we need anything else? I ask her all the time, is there anything else you want or need? Like, because I don't want her to, like, as a man, especially in Miami, especially as a provider, especially running a business, as a man, I feel responsible for providing for you. And I don't want some other man to come around that has a lot more money than me to provide more for you that I can't do or won't do. And so it's really important for me to ask you, and for husbands to ask their wives, like, and wives to ask their husbands back, is like, is there anything that you need from me that I'm not giving to you? And you might be like, well, yeah, I need an outfit for this dinner. And I might think that that's bonkers, but you might spend 10 grand over the course of a year on random clothes for random stuff. maybe, like 500 to 1,000 a month, and you might not realize it, but you end up doing that. But in the grand scheme of money, like, who cares, right? So sometimes the truth is she comes home with a bag from Zara or comes home from Lulu, but I never do that for myself. What I do is I come home with like a $25,000 coaching package or something like that, and she's like, what the heck is that? And so what I like to invest in, like almost every day we get a book delivered at our house, right? Like, but you never bitch or complain about me buying books, and I never bitch and complain about you buying clothes or needing something at Sephora. Like, you can only get your hair done a certain number of times. You're only gonna you don't get your nails done every day.
No.
Like, so as long as you factor it, and it's like, well, how many times would you want to get your nails done? Every 2 weeks. Cool. What, $150? Cool. All right, what about your hair? Every month or two, three? It's $600, $800. Like, if you actually write it down on paper, I think that's a big moral, I guess, as I'm thinking out loud. If you put it on paper, it makes it so much easier. Like, I need a haircut. Me personally, I get a haircut every week or two. Like, well, the difference between whether I do it every week or two is like $80 a month.
We did it on a budget sheet. We did it on a budget sheet. These were our expenses personally and for the business. And that helped us see everything where our money was going from the beginning. We probably need to update it.
We do. We haven't done it in like 2 years.
But weekly, what we do is just talk about, here's what we have this upcoming week. Let's focus on that. And then that's how we move forward.
We don't update it because we haven't changed our standard of living. That's why we don't update it. It's not like you get your hair done more or your nails done more than you did 2 years ago. And the only things that change, like, we have like our base expenses. And then when we get another policy, or if if Winston's starting to go to daycare, like whatever, we start adding those on, and then I just add that to Yaritza's salary.
It's doggy daycare, by the way.
Huh?
Doggy daycare.
Yeah, doggy daycare. Like any extra expenses that she's spending, like if she was making $3,000 a month in the beginning, $4,000 a month, and then $5,000 a month, like as the expenses go up, we just pay more on payroll so that we can pay our personal expenses. And as a business owner, you have that ability. If you're not a business owner, you can still do the same thing by having different bank accounts that you allocate money in differently. But it's just good.
I was going to say, I also think it's important for the women or the spouse to want to be involved in money situations and not be scared of wanting to learn about it or know anything about money, because I feel a lot of women have some scarcity or fear with money, and they're like, you know what, the man can handle it, so he's got it.
But what about the opposite? What about all the guys that we run calls with that say they have to ask their wife for money?
I don't know what's going on with this generation recently, but there's a lot of like stay-at-home dads now, and the wife is the one that...
It's not even this generation. It's older guys that say that they have to ask their wife for permission.
Well, it's okay, because if they want to come to be aligned on a reason why they're going to buy something, but not because of the financial purpose, not because of the money aspect of it.
There's a difference between saying, hey, I want to run this by my wife, make sure we're on board together because this is important to me and I want her to buy into what I'm doing. But like, if you have a crappy wife and you go back and you're like, hey babe, we're gonna go create a ton of wealth for our family, and we're gonna go do this, and we're gonna put money here, and we're gonna put money here, and we're gonna, if God forbid something happens to me, we're gonna have tens of millions of dollars to take care of our family. And she says, that is so stupid, that guy's trying to scam you. Like, if she says something like that, you have a bad wife.
Or she tells you, like, be realistic.
Be realistic. It happened twice last week that, two people that we know said that their wife, that their wife said that they shouldn't do it. But their wife wasn't even on the call. That's our mistake. But we have to get into a place of having good couples. Maybe we should run some couples money retreats or something like that, where we get couples together to learn how to communicate about money together. Because then those people would never give the objection that they have to ask their wife about money.
What's another money tip that we can give for couples out there so they don't fight about money?
Track everything and don't hide anything, and have access to each other's accounts, and have a system for it. Like, we have a system. So our system with money is that all of our money goes into, because we're statutory W-2 with the insurance companies, when Josh sells policies, money goes into Josh's personal account. When Yaritza sells policies, money goes into Yaritza's personal account. And then we take all of that money and we put it all into Infinite Capital's bank account. And then Infinite Capital's bank account has all of our money. Then out of Infinite Capital's bank account, we pay Yaritza on payroll, we pay Josh on payroll, we pay the rest of our team on payroll, and we pay all our bills. And then we have leftover money that stays in the business. And then if we need extra money, then we bonus ourselves that money. So, like a good example, why don't you share about what you're doing for Father's Day this year?
Oh, yeah. So I surprised my dad with 2 FIFA Cup tickets.
World Cup
tickets. So we're going to go see the Portugal game next Tuesday.
Because he wants to see.
Because he wants to see Ronaldo. So I surprised him with that. But we worked out a deal that I could get a bonus if I hit this certain target within our business, something that we're building right now. And of course I finished it, so I got to buy my dad 2 tickets.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, cause I wasn't gonna just give you the money.
No, of course not.
Right? But we made a deal, and then I bought it right on the spot.
But I asked you, how can I earn it?
Right, you're right. You didn't say, hey babe, I really want to do that, because like it was too much money. It was too much money to not make it a bonus, you know? Like.
And sometimes like we both say we have policies that were pending and payout. We both receive commissions from that.
Right.
Separate bank accounts, but even when I receive it, I send it all to him and our company. So it's all aligned. So it's not like I keep all of the commissions that I'm receiving from me selling.
Yeah, both of us. Neither of us keep our commissions. I pay the household. So here's what I pay. In our house, I pay the rent. I pay our light and gas bill, and I pay our AT&T home internet. And combined, it's like $4,000 a month. Yaritza pays all of her personal expenses, right? So her personal expenses are what?
Doesn't matter, just personal things.
Her stuff. Going to get her stuff, going to get this, going to get that, getting her hair done, lashes done, whatever. So all of those things, we already budgeted that. She does this twice a month, and that turns into $4,000 a month too. Then she has her life insurance policies that are like $2,000 a month, so we add that on top. And so we separate our money out based on what our bills are, and neither of us have any leftover money any month. Right? And you put all your stuff on your credit card and then pay your credit card off. I put all my stuff on my credit card and pay it off, and everything else flows through our business that we can write off. And if not, I'll send money to our personal bank account and pay it that way.
I always ask, before we have any other spending that we're going to do, did our money that's sitting in our bank account flow through our policies first?
That's true. So like right now we have a little bit of a problem because it's a good problem to have, but we have more money in our bank account than we're allowed to put into our policies. We already flowed it in. I could put it back in and pay off the loans, but it just doesn't make sense, because why would I pay off a 5% loan to the insurance company that they're never going to take our stuff when we had 63% profit margin last month in the business, right? So like why would we not put it in the business? So now the question is like, how fast can we get new leads? How fast can we hire people?
How can we invest in more back into the business?
Yeah, more back into the business.
Get it flowing and moving, because it's got to stay moving.
Right. And then we just got another policy on Yaritza. We should definitely get policies on your mom and my mom. And then because they're healthier than our dads.
Yeah.
Both of our dads are falling apart. We love them, but they're both falling apart. Both of our moms are healthier than they are. But we just need to figure out who can we get policies on that we have an insurable interest in.
Yeah.
And so that's really where we're at right now. And then, we pay our bills, each of us, then we pay our company bills, whatever's left over we try to put into more policies and then leverage against, and then go use their money to grow our business so we get more money, and this keeps going. And then we like to give too, right? We'll give for different charitable causes. We'll do the team. We'll take the team away on different trips. We'll take the team to like a Thanksgiving, give out food kind of thing and donate for that. So whenever we can, donate to church, donate to causes, donate to education funds, donate to the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah. So main thing of everything is
communication,
be involved, be aware, and have a system, because
True.
I think because we have this, I know because we have this system, it helps us so much.
It
Not
does.
just having it all in our head. Oh, I think the money's there. Oh, I think it's there.
Yeah.
Really tracking it and keeping system.
And there are some random times that we mess up, like that we forgot that this was going to come out or that was going to come out.
Yeah.
But then, like, if I'm negative $500 in my personal account, you just send me $500 and vice versa.
So, any last tips for couples out there who are building a business together or want to communicate better with money?
Stop fighting about money. It ruined my family, and it ruined your family. It ruins most families. So stop fighting about money. Just talk about money. It's a very simple thing. When you take the emotion out of money, they're just numbers. Like, there's just certain numbers that you put onto a sheet. And if your bills are this much money, that's what your bills are. And you just have to count them, and you have to track them, and you have to do it maybe once a month. And if you're really unorganized, do it once a quarter. But don't let years go by of not handling your money. And just make sure that you're communicating with your spouse about it, so that you can be successful.
Yeah. And if there's anything we didn't cover that you would like to learn or know more about for future episodes, please let us know. Send us DMs or comment in the comments below.
Yeah, just because we're talking about a little bit of a sensitive topic or two sensitive topics at the same time, marriage and money,
Yeah.
if you want to reach out to either one of us and talk about it, we're both more than happy to connect, like of giving advice, of giving feedback on what you should do in your situation. I just think that you're really great at that, of like being able to coach other men and women into how to handle their wives and husbands, and do a really good job at that. So like, we're an open book. We'll show you whatever we need to. We're here if you guys want to connect.
Yes. So thank you for tuning in to Be the Banker podcast, and stay tuned for a new episode next week.